Fiber is future-proof. The bandwidth that we have is unlimited as far as we know. Today, we can bring the fastest, best, most capable internet that gives you the ability to do anything you might want to do. They can become YouTube stars right from your home, if you will. Fiber brings all that to life.
Thank goodness for Fidium Fiber. David Koehl, the CIO over at Fidium, he's going to explain why fiber is the key to future-proofing your business, your communities, and your homes.
I like to be able to talk to the customers. It's the best way to get some real experience into the home from a customer's point of view. Going into a woman's home who was organist for an online church. She had no ability really to get her video on. And when we brought fiber to her, she was now able to broadcast herself in all of her glory.
You're really changing people's lives with the work you do.
When we bring in fiber to communities, the upward mobility it brings to the community itself, game-changing.
Not just laying down the future of fiber across America, but also you're building the capabilities and technology internally to support it.
We've been running a major digital transformation inside of the company and just drive a much more digitally oriented customer experience for anybody that's a Fidium customer. I would fiber up as quickly as you can. Once you have that base, what you can do on top of it is unlimited.
The companies winning the future won't just run faster, they'll run smarter. And fiber is no longer optional. It's the hidden advantage behind productivity, security, and growth. And joining us today on the show is David Koehl, known as DK, the CIO over at Fidium. He's going to explain why fiber is the key to future-proofing your business, your communities, and your homes. Welcome back to Breakthrough Leaders. I'm your host, Ben Fanning. DK, welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, Ben. Good to be here. Appreciate it.
So why does fiber matter?
Well, Ben, I think the best way to answer that question is tell me why fiber doesn't matter. Fiber lifts all boats. It's a game changer. It's really the only way I think anybody, either in business, at home, in a community, no matter your role, can really take advantage of all the world has to offer today from your location, wherever you are. We used to have to transport ourselves to offices or to other community centers or places of I guess where you might congregate to be able to get any kind of access to the internet. Today, we can bring the fastest, best, most capable internet right to your home. That gives you the ability to do anything you might want to do, whether it be for work or for pleasure, kids, yourself, doesn't matter, even your pets. They can become YouTube stars right from your home, if you will. And it's not possible without fiber.
Thank goodness for Fidium Fiber. Our pets can become celebrities. I love it. Well, it's so funny because it's like that would not be possible if you couldn't upload your videos. If you can't record them and get them
100%.
uploaded, your pet will remain starless.
He's unknown. He's
Yeah,
unknown.
yeah.
No. I mean, look, in all seriousness, it literally, what would you do without internet? There is no real no real reality without having internet into your life. We use it for everything. You can't use it in many instances. You can't exist without it. You can't do most of the normal daily functions these days without it. Especially if you have kids running around. I have several running around my house, and it is a constant battle for bandwidth.
Yeah.
Although I have fiber in my home, and I have a 2 gig connection in my home, and people will say, "Oh, well, what on earth do you need that? What does that even mean, 2 gig?" Means you have a lot of bandwidth. Means you can do a lot of things. Means your wife can be watching her shows in her room at night. You can be doing work or doing whatever you're doing on your computer. Your kids can be fighting over video games or watching Netflix or doing whatever they're doing.
Hmm.
All within the confines of your home, and really no compromises. Fiber brings all that to life because you get a consistent experience both up and down from a speed perspective, and many times people don't recognize the need for bandwidth going back up into the internet, but sometimes that is most important to a connection on the other side. So, fiber makes it all possible.
Well, you live in Texas, and Texas is known for some of its impressive storms that you get hit with. What's it like having fiber when you got a storm coming on the horizon?
Well, it certainly doesn't warm your home,
It
but
doesn't warm it.
it doesn't warm it, but it can bring you at least the ability to track in high definition that ice rolling in, where it's going to be, where it's gonna hit, how long it's gonna last. Um, and if you're fortunate enough to have a generator on the home, which most of us now in Texas do, because you're right, I do live in one of those places that got hit by an ice storm. And when you have a the internet runs just fine. Fiber's up and running. You have no issues. There's no need for uh, any concern at all of being able to kind of keep everything in tune, communicate with people, make sure everybody's safe, and see if you can't order some goods from the stores when they open up again because you're going to be in need of supplies.
Oh, right on. I haven't thought about that. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, get your orders in because you know when the power comes back on, there's going to be a mad rush to get groceries. Have your groceries already sitting there for you. Well, what since you've been in the world of fiber, what are some of the, I guess, more meaningful moments or meaningful stories that you've sort of collected as you've gone along as a leader at Fidium?
It's a good question. There's one thing that comes to mind. I was out doing so as a I go out in our markets quite a bit, and have been to most of our markets and try to spend some time in the markets. And when I do, I typically go on installations with the field technicians because I like to AC what they do, and I like to be able to talk to the customers. It's the best way to bring and get some real experience into the home from a customer's point of view when you're going in there. So, I remember going into, um, this is a true story, going into a woman's home who was, organist for a online church. And she, had, no ability really to get her video on while she was doing this, so she would be playing organ music in an online virtual church where she was playing the organ all along, and when we brought fiber to her, she was now able to broadcast herself in all of her glory, because she would wear the most incredible clothing, to bring that and broadcast that to the world. And so, I don't know exactly how meaningful that is, but it was an amazing example to me of a differentiated experience that fiber brings that I doubt many would actually think of. But when you start to think about all the possibilities of that, the thing that is, really to me, what I see in the community, specifically communities that have been, let's say, underserved from like a real high speed internet type of capability. When we bring in fiber to communities, the upward mobility it brings to the community itself, the ability for people to have jobs, to be able to create an outreach to an entire world of commerce that is now there, that wasn't there before, it's game changing, and it's game changing not for the individuals in the community, but the community itself. So, it's a real differentiator, and Fidium is bringing a lot of that to many of its markets. Many of our markets are small markets. I wouldn't say rural, but they are smaller markets, and they have not had the chance to have high-speed internet of the quality of Fidium before, and it's game changing. It's game changing for 'em.
Yeah, so when you say upper mobility, that is really, really cool because you're really changing people's lives with the work you do. And in the organ example, you just don't know how it's gonna show up. But more connectivity, more speed, it impacts reach, connection, you said productivity. I just and you don't necessarily know all the different ways that it's gonna be impacting, people, but
Yeah, and entertainment too, it's not always about, work, it's a work-life balance as well, but now getting access to, heck, pay-per-view or, the NFL Sunday Ticket. Not that I'm advertising that, but being a Dallas Cowboy fan, that's really all we talk about down here. Being
Yes.
being able to now be able to stream your team or be able to see the shows and just have access to all of the entertainment that's out there. There's a ton of it in entertainment and education. Um, because there's an amazing amount of user generated content out there, right? UGC, it's like the thing. It's been that thing for a while, but many people who maybe not have had access to the type of high speed quality internet in the past have not been able to like explore all that's out there from educational perspectives as well.
Yeah, I mean, you're really bringing communities into a much more modern world, and they can participate, just not view it online, but really be connected, be engaged, and bring their ideas and their organ music to the world.
That's
Well,
right.
talk about your team a little bit. How do you build your team for the future?
It's interesting. I my team has to have one thing first and foremost in their mind, which is be ready for change and be adaptable. We're change agents. The organization I run within Fidium is a change oriented organization. We are driving a tremendous amount of change, not only outside of the company but inside the company. As we have been progressing along our journey of the Fidium product, we've been running simultaneously a major digital transformation inside of the company, which allows us to communicate um, and just drive a much more um, digitally oriented customer experience for anybody that's a Fidium customer. They can do anything and everything with us online. They can communicate via SMS with us. They can chat with us. They can communicate in various different ways wherever they would like to with us when if and when the need arises. But bringing a lot of that change internally has required all of our employees to embrace a whole new way of working, which dictates a different type of style we like to call enablement inside the company to try to enable all of our employees to adapt to the change, because any kind of change is confusing and any kind of change creates, um, you know, uh, whether it be minimal or large amounts of chaos in organizations. And so trying to do is find a way to use technology to bring change to employees and our customers in a way that kind of brings it brings that chaos to the limited amount possible.
It's so important for our listeners to hear that because it really sounds like you're an organization that's in integrity and congruent with the change that you're making for these communities. And because you're building a team to stay on top of change and new technologies inside the organization. It's like it just wouldn't be right if you were creating change out in the world and bring all this technology, but internally couldn't keep up with it, right? And it's so great that you guys are really able to align, and that's what the future is going to be like. We talked about future proofing earlier, being ready for the future. And I think when listeners hear this, viewers, they're going to know, hey, Fidium is not just laying down the future of fiber across America, but also you're building the capabilities and technology internally to support it.
100%. Yeah, that is exactly right. Very well said. It's a matter of I guess another dog analogy or pet analogy. Eat your own dog food, and we do it every day. We are enabling our employees to serve our customers in a new way, and driving that same kind of change internally allows the customer experience and the individual that's communicating with the customer to totally understand what the change brings to the table, and to be on the same footing as that customer when they're changing. The hardest thing with change is just getting started. A lot of instances, it's the thing I tell my team, and a lot of times tell our customers the same thing. It's just you just get started down the journey. It's amazing how quickly you adapt to change once you just embrace it and start changing.
So what 10 years down the road, you guys are putting in fiber everywhere right now, and it's really a generational thing, right? Because your people's grandchildren, great grandchildren could literally be using this fiber to work, to for entertainment, and go to school, just like we do from Dwight D. Eisenhower's interstate system, where we're riding our car.
Yeah, I mean, it's in my mind, it's it is the equivalence of electricity because when electricity came in, I wasn't there, but obviously, but I've seen the images of how amazing it was back, candlelight to electricity. Fiber is future proof. It is a technology that it will only improve and increase. The bandwidth that we have is almost, it's unlimited as far as we know. There will continue to grow as long as the need to consume, the bandwidth grows, fiber will be there to allow that consumption. The technology itself is, when it was created, it was complete game changing, and there isn't another technology, that can keep up with it.
What can the leaders do? Speak to leaders in their communities and organizations, even other homes. What do they need to be thinking about when it comes to fiber?
Well, I would get on board, right? I would fiber up. I would fiber up as quickly as you can because, there is no other way to go. Once you have that base layer of capability and that infrastructure in place, what you can do on top of it is unlimited. So that's the key message for me is fiber up.
Fiber up, everybody, because DK says so. And I think he's right. And the future looks different with fiber, right? No fiber is going to be slower. There's going to be more demands on infrastructure. And if you've got this unlimited bandwidth, essentially, you're going to be prepared.
Yep, 100%.
So, DK, why is Fidium's mission so personal for you?
It's Fidium itself as a product is a transformational product for anyone and anything, any business, any person that for the first time may have access to fiber. It transforms anything and everything you can do. Um, Personally, I'm a transformational agent and have been for many years, most of my career. That's what I've done as I've driven transformation, and I take it upon myself to try to hyperscale transformation every opportunity I get, and Fidium embodies that same exact approach and same exact concept. It just brings it to each individual that happens to get a hold of it.
That's who you want bringing broadband to your home, right? You want fiber in by the people that love that kind of project and that kind of product because it's not easy. You got to be the person that wants to get up early, hit the road, get out in the field, and be a part of this. Sounds like a fun time and a fun place to be.
Yeah, I agree.
And the crew at Fidium, what do they need to do? They need to get in touch with you guys to really see what they can do here with Fidium and partner, or what do you recommend as their next step?
Yeah, sure. You can check out, we've got great digital assets out there. Anything and everything you need to do from an education perspective is out there. Just go to fidium.com. It's right there at your fingertips. Place your order. Tech will be there in no time at all. In many instances, next day, and get you hooked up. And from there, it's endless possibilities for you. So anything we can do to help along the way, just let us know. Any one of us.
Thanks for joining us on Breakthrough Leaders. A lot of fun today, sir, DK.
Thanks, Ben. Appreciate it.